Hi all, so I have a pair of these floor lamps which are uplighters and they incorporate a spotlight as well. In the top here we've got some 300 watt halogen bulbs, which is ridiculous for uplighters, very hungry on energy and totally unnecessary. And again we've got some 240 volt halogen 50 watt bulbs for the spotlights, and they're controlled by this dimmer, which is a 2-position leading edge dimmer which isn't suitable for LEDs. So my plan is to rip it all out and install LEDs. I wanted to use just LED bulbs, 240, but that doesn't work because the dimmer isn't suitable for LED bulbs, and also you can get a lot of problems with flickering if you don't have the correct dimmer or if the bulb isn't of decent quality. So I'm going to go 12 volts with this. My plan is to remove all this and then make panels and lights to actually go in its place. I'm going to convert the dimmer that's down there at the minute because I want the light to look as standard as possible. So I'm going to remove the dimmer that's in there and I'm going to replace it with a PWM dimmer. Once I've done that, I shall then rewire the whole light for the LEDs. I'm also going to run the light off of just one 240 volt plug, which I'll get into more along the video, but basically it will be a case of a 12 volt transformer, about 5 amps rated, and that will power the whole lot, and there'll be a cable that goes between each lamp, and one socket will power the two, so to speak. With all the components that are in there, I can't actually sort of use any of them, so they'll be removed. In the top there's a couple of posts which I'm going to use for mounting brackets, which you'll see in the video as we go along, and I will also make the panels. I'm going to be using stick-on LED strips. I've had quite a lot of success with these in the past. The top mood lighting will be controlled by voice control as well as remote control, and the spotlights will be on the dimmer independent of the RGB lights at the top. So I'm hoping that the way I'm planning this to all work out will be how I wish it to work, so to speak. The components that I'm going to use I got off of Amazon, so they're regularly available parts. The RGB lights are cuttable, so you can cut them into whatever length you want, and then you can solder between them. Now here's the parts that I'm using. You've got normal bright white, I think these are, or cool white LEDs. Just literally supply a 12 volt power supply to them and away you go. That's the PWM dimmer that I'm going to put inside the actual light. Those are the RGB W light strip that I'm going to use for the top mode lighting, and that's the controller that it comes with. And it's got a little IR sensor on it as well, so you can control it from remote control buttons or voice control. And this is the 12 volt 5 amp power supply that I'm going to use to power it all. So let's get on with this and see how we go. so now you've seen the progress up until now. This is the 12 volt main feed lead. That's the 4 RGB leads for the mood lighting at the top. And this is going to go to the following light, which will provide 12 volt power. As you can see here, we've got the 12 volt supply coming in, which are these two wires here. We've got the 12 volt leads going up to the spotlight, which will go into the output of the dimmer switch. We've got the 12 volt power going down the leg to the bottom, and both these two leads and the other 4 RGB leads are going to be incorporated in a socket, and there'll be a lead between them. These RGB leads, they go up the top of the lamp. They'll connect to the LED panel up here, and then the other wires will go into the output of the LED panel that I make, because it's in series, so to speak. So those wires travel all the way back down here, and they come out as you've seen at the bottom, and they're all going to go into a socket on the back of this lamp. And then there'll be a lead that trails across the floor to the other light, which will have the same socket to feed the light and power the LEDs and RGBs. Here you can see this area is getting quite crammed now with various different wires and what have you. But you can see down the bottom you've got the 4 leads coming off of the back of the LED controller on the back of that plate, and they're connecting to the 4 RGB cables that go up to the top, across the panel, and then back down the leg, and then they go back out to the second lamp and up to the top of the LED panel in the second light. You'll also see here that the LED dimmer is now in place. That's been epoxied in, and I'm using one of the original holes, the top hole, with a chrome dimmer knob on. The bottom dimmer knob I've just super glued in place and epoxied from the back so that it still looks standard. You'll notice that all the wires in this area I've protected with a sheath to go over the cables, so that the metal doesn't cut through any of the cables and cause shorts. So anywhere where the cables come into contact with open metal surfaces, they've all been protected with this protective sheath that goes over them, and we're getting there. So here we go, 240 volts into that 12 volt 5 amp supply. That goes to a 5 amp DC plug, where it goes to the white lead into the light. It then comes out of the light onto a 6-pin DIN. The cable between the two lights connects into the other lamp, and here you can see that's the dimmer for the spotlight. And then here you can see the RGBs on at the top for mood lighting. These can obviously be selective of whatever colour you wish. There's various different light modes which are unnecessarily most of the time. As you can see here, I'll flick through some colours. I'll also demonstrate this in a black room as well, so that you can see more of the colour. But as you can see, it's all working as I had initially planned, and overall I'm quite happy with the results.
Alexa, mood lights magenta. Alexa, mood lights yellow. Alexa, mood lights green. Alexa, mood lights 100%.
Hi all, so I just wanted to jump in here quickly and explain to you on the previous lights where they were 700 watts, that was drawing about 3 amps of electricity an hour, whereas converting over to these LEDs, it's dropped significantly down to 0.1 of an amp. So to give you an idea of efficiency, for what it would cost you to run the old lights for 1 hour, you can run these new LED lights for 26 hours. So as you can see, the saving in electricity alone is well worth it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I would really appreciate it if you would consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, as that will help me and the channel out, and for that I'd be very grateful. Till the next one, see you later.